Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're a student in finance or commerce, you know just how tough and, well, kind of boring these subjects can get. But today, we're going to break down something new that's designed to change all that. We're decoding FinGraph India, and trust me, by the end of this, you'll see it's way more than just a channel. It's your personal roadmap to success. Okay, let's jump right in. What you're looking at is the FinGraph India logo. And yeah, at first glance, it looks clean, it looks professional. But get this, what if I told you that every single element you see here is actually a promise? This isn't just a brand, it's basically a visual guide for mastering some of the toughest subjects you're ever going to face. Yep, you heard that right. This whole thing is a complete roadmap. It's designed to take those super complex, often dry topics and turn them into something engaging and, most importantly, something you can actually understand. It's a guide for your entire learning journey. So the big question is, are you ready to explore it with me? Let's break it down. All right, so first up, let's get to the heart of it. We need to understand the philosophy behind FinGraph India. This part is all about the how. We're going to look right into the middle of that logo at those central graphics to figure out the core teaching method that really makes learning stick. See that magnifying glass? And no, it's not just there to look cool. It's really the core of the entire method. It stands for a commitment to deep analysis. Zooming right in on those confusing topics, breaking them down into their most essential parts, and giving you absolute clarity. It's all about getting past that feeling of being overwhelmed and getting to a place of focused understanding. And see how that connects? Right inside the magnifying glass, you've got bar charts and graphs. That's the second piece of the puzzle. Simplicity through visualization. Look, finance is just full of complicated data. So instead of just hitting you with a wall of text, FinGraph India turns that data into visuals that just make sense. It makes concepts way easier to grasp and, this is the key part, so much easier to remember when you're sitting in an exam. Okay, so that's the how, deep analysis and clear visuals. But what about the what? What are we actually going to master here? Well, that brings us to the foundation of the channel, represented by those 4 icons at the bottom. Let's take a look at the 4 pillars of expertise you're going to build. First up, we have financial reporting. This is basically the language of business, and trust me, you have to be fluent. This pillar is all about helping you master balance sheets, income statements, and cash flow reports, so you can turn all that complex financial data into a story that you can read and understand with total confidence. All right, next up, the one a lot of people dread, taxation. With its laws that are always changing and rules that seem impossibly complex, it can feel like a nightmare. The focus here is on decoding taxation. We break down direct and indirect taxes into clear, manageable lessons, giving you the clarity you need to nail any exam question that comes your way. Our third pillar is auditing. This is all about learning how to navigate the world of verification and assurance. Think of us as your guide, helping you understand the why and the how behind an audit. It makes the whole process feel logical and systematic, instead of just a random list of rules you have to memorize. And the final pillar, with the gavel, is company law. This is the absolute backbone of the entire corporate world. But instead of letting you get lost in dense legal texts, the goal here is to simplify these frameworks. We make the rules and regulations that businesses run on accessible and, you guessed it, logical. So, we've covered the how and the what. But why does it all matter? What does it all add up to? Well, that brings us to the tagline at the very bottom of the logo, which is FinGraph India's core promise to every single student who joins us. And this right here, this is the whole philosophy in a nutshell. We call it the FinGraph way, and it's a really simple 3-step journey. First, you visualize the information to cut through all the complexity. Second, you actually understand the core ideas, not just memorize them for a test. And what's the result? You comply with confidence, whether that's in an exam or in your future career. It's a system built for real competence. Okay, so there you have it. The whole roadmap is laid out for you. You get the method, you know the subjects, and you understand the promise. Really, the only thing left to do is to start your own journey and join this growing community of learners who are mastering finance and commerce in a totally new visual way. And getting started? It couldn't be easier. If this new way of learning sounds good to you, the first step is to like the videos that help you out. Second, share them with your friends and classmates who are on the same path. Third, and this one's the big one, subscribe to FinGraph India to officially become part of the community. And finally, make sure you hit that notification bell so you never ever miss a new lesson. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important question. And this one is all for you. With these 4 pillars of expertise right in front of you, financial reporting, taxation, auditing, and company law, the choice is now yours. So take a look, think about your goals, and decide, what will you master first?